Food prices in the US have risen about 2.9% over just this past year. Let's not even talk about how much it has risen since COVID, okay? It's crazy inflation. And while overall inflation was about 2.4%, which I think these numbers are kind of low, staple items like eggs have skyrocketed. I mean, basic staples, okay? It skyrocketed 27% year over year. Not just the spikes that we're seeing when there's some, disease going around with the chickens or whatever, but just in general, prices of eggs have skyrocketed. I'm paying $6 for eggs that I used to pay $3 for. That's a 50% increase. And ground beef is up to $6 per pound. When I remember very specifically buying ground beef at $3. If you're feeling stretched, you're not alone. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So the very first thing I want you to do is start with a baseline of stuff you already have. I bet you have something. You have unused goods in your freezer or fridge, or you have unused stuff that have just been kind of sitting in your pantry for a while and you just maybe don't use it as often. That is the very first place that you need to start. Start figuring out uses for those unused items. You're gonna figure out some really creative ways. And one of the easiest ways you can do this is to go onto your search engine of choice and to search, how to make a full meal with baked beans, recipes with quick oats. By the way, I use quick oats in like basically everything that I do these days. Like I make so many granola bars. These are actually no bake. I just pulled it from the fridge. These are no bake granola bars that are just peanut butter, oats, flaxseed, and honey. That's it. Oh my gosh, so good. Oh yeah, and chocolate chips. I can't forget about the chocolate chips. Duh. Once you start using what you have, now it's time to start replacing in bulk. I understand not a lot of people have maybe the extra money to go towards Sam's Club or Costco, but I implore you to find that extra $50 or $60 or whatever the memberships are. I can't remember. I just pay it every year because it's so worth it, okay? This is chicken that I actually just took out of the deep freeze, and I'm going to be putting it in the fridge for our weekly meals. All of this chicken will last us the whole week for our family of 5. And we eat a lot of chicken, to be fair. We eat a lot of chicken and a lot of seafood. So a lot of shrimp, salmon, tuna. We eat a lot of that stuff. But frozen is not bad. Frozen veggies, frozen meats, all these things is actually one of the most nutritious and best ways for you to be stocking up. And this is for everyday eating, of course. Now, if you have stuff in your freezer, like berries or vegetables or stuff like that, and you're like, you know what, it's been in here a while, maybe go dehydrate it, or maybe see if you can can some stuff. Or if you have a freeze dryer, put it in your freeze dryer. Find some ways to use it or preserve it a little bit longer and get it out of your freezer. So you wanna buy smart on your budget. And shopping at Costco has been one of our primo ways to shop on a budget. We can get, the big bags of rice. We can get the big bags of beans. We can get the tons of canned food and meats and cheeses and, perishable, non-perishable coffee. We can get this stuff in bulk. And things that maybe, I was buying in smaller quantities at the regular grocery store was lasting us a week. This can last us 3 weeks to a month, if not more. It just kind of depends on how much we're getting. And yes, it is a little bit more investment right off the bat, but I actually save money in the long haul. That chicken that I just showed you, that was $23 for like a 6-pack. And so that right there will last us 2 weeks. And then another pack will last us another 2 weeks. That's a month, okay? So that's $46 for a bunch of chicken. Now they have other frozen chicken and other types of chicken that you can get and all that kind of thing. But whether it's the dry beans or canned beans, if you guys eat beans, we do. We eat a lot of black beans. So I buy a ton of black beans, the dry and the canned. And we also like these bush beans with the no sugar, stuff like that. Oats, all these things I will buy in bulk. And if I can't get them in bulk from Costco, I will go to Azura Standard, or I can go to the LDS store, which I can get locally, or you can purchase online for those bulk foods. Also, having a little hydroponics like this and just getting these dwarf tomatoes, they look a little crazy, but I've been able to just munch on tomatoes and dwarf tomatoes just all the time. Perfect little snack. You can put lettuce in here, dwarf peppers, dwarf tomatoes, all sorts of plants in here. You can have just fresh, little bit of produce year round. I am sick of buying lettuce from the store and having it go bad immediately. So having one of these little hydroponics where I can have lettuce consistently growing is fantastic because I have nice fresh lettuce all the time. Start making your own bread. Okay, we go through like 2 loaves a week and we get like the Dave's bread that's like $6. That's $12 a week when I could make it for like $1 or less because I buy bulk flour, bulk sugar. I buy the bulk yeast from Costco. What else do I put in it? You know, you can put like milk or whatever else you want in it, but there's tons of recipes. You can buy bulk supplies and you can make, 200, 300, 400 loaves of bread out of all that bulk supplies. Yes, making from scratch. This is making from scratch. I'm just not kneading it and doing everything. This is still making it from scratch. And guess what? I got this for $25 from Facebook Marketplace. From Costco, we get a lot of canned foods like canned salmon, canned tuna, canned chicken, a lot of canned stuff. So we don't always eat super fresh, but canned food is still nutritious and still good. You can make small swaps and small substitutions. So you could get maybe this for your everyday eating, and then you can get another one for your preps. Okay, so this is what you're going to be doing. And every single time you go to the store, whether you're going to a regular grocery store like Walmart or H-E-B or Safeway or whatever, you are going to Costco, you can still get like one and then get one extra of some things. Like that's what I'll usually do with peanut butter because we go through a lot of peanut butter. It's also really good as a prep. Yes, I get the Jif. Yes, Urban Prepper apparently got a bunch of flack for getting the Jif instead of the all natural. But listen, it stores really good, okay? I understand it's not the greatest for you, but you do what you can, okay? So now it's time to stretch your meals. Like I said, with all that chicken's gonna last us an entire week for all of our meals. So I'm stretching it. I'm gonna make a casserole with that chicken that is gonna last us a couple days, right? I'm gonna make some enchiladas, which is also gonna last a couple days. I'm going to be making this like really good chicken and bean and canned corn mashup that I can eat for my lunches, which is gonna last me a few days, right? So you can reuse all this stuff in multiple different ways. We want you to stay healthy. So I don't want you to just load up a meal with a bunch of rice or a bunch of pasta just so you can have just a little tiny bit of protein. Make sure that you are having a good balanced meal of vegetables or fruits with the protein and the carb. So a balanced meal, of course, you should have less carbs and more of everything else, basically. Stock up your freezer, stock up your fridge. And then when it comes to everyday preparedness, get just 1 or 2 extra cans. Get that 1 bag of rice for everyday eating. Get another bag of rice that you're gonna put in a mylar bag with an oxygen absorber. And not every trip you're getting another bag of rice, depending on how much rice you use. Maybe you're gonna get another bag every few months. Or maybe next time you go, you're gonna get another bag, but that's also gonna go into storage because you don't need any more for your everyday, right? But all that stuff that you're putting into storage can also be used for your everyday consumption as well. That's kind of the point. Rotation, okay? Listen, if you are broke, like a lot of us are, you don't have to worry about getting a 3-week or a 3-month or a 6-month or a year supply of food. Set your realistic goals. Set up for just like 3 days, okay? That's a really good starting point. And then get it set for another 3 days and then another 3 days, etc. And the absolute easiest and best way to do this is to make your meal plan ahead of time for not only your everyday meals, but also your preparedness meals. Take your everyday meals and then simply do slight adjustments to make it to where you're using non-perishable items to make your prepper meals. So turn your everyday meals into prepper meals. Create your grocery list from it. It's super easy, okay? I have a blog list down below that talks about that and how you can do that. We're not helpless here, okay? Every single dollar counts and you can keep building resilience. You can grow microgreens and sprouts like I've talked about in the past. Start your container garden. Start tilling dirt in the ground so you can start your own garden, okay? Build just a little bit every single week because this is not a race. It is a journey. It's a lifelong journey. And if you want to seriously be prepared while pinching pennies and making sure that you are continuing to have everyday good foods, buying in bulk, setting up that prepper meal plan and then sticking to it and getting just a little tiny bit at a time is not only going to stretch our budget, but it is going to get you prepared a little bit faster. The very last talking point I want to say is shop local. Though some shopping local may be a little more expensive, shopping local may not be as impacted by certain tariffs. And this is wildly dependent on what we're shopping local for, okay? Because certain things are still going to be imported in that we just literally can't control because it is just not produced here. But food, water, these are things that you can get a little bit every single time, every day. Not every day, every week when you go grocery shopping, or every month when you do bulk shopping or whatever. Get your everyday needs and then just get a little bit on the side for your prepping. That's all there is to it. I hope this was helpful. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.